Manny Gomes here, your mortgage planner for life, and today we're going to take a look at renting versus buying and what makes more financial sense. To do this, we're going to use a rent versus buy calculator, and we have to factor in some assumptions. The first assumption will be a monthly rent of $1,900 a month, renter's insurance of $20 a month, and because rent does not stay stagnant, yes, it does go up over time, we're going to factor in a 2% increase to the rent over time. Purchasing the home, we're going to look into a home of about a $300,000 purchase price. We're going to finance $285,000, 5% down, and we have a interest rate of 4 3/4. Now, the reason why the interest rate's a little higher than the current conforming rate is to make up for the mortgage insurance because we are not factoring in a 20% down payment. That rate will be fixed for 30 years, and to close on the transaction, we're looking at about $3,000 between lender fees and attorney fees. Homeowners insurance, we're factoring $800 a year in homeowners insurance, and real estate taxes can be higher or lower depending on the town, but we're just going to assume $6,000. Another assumption will be home maintenance. We're going to assume $1,000 per year in home maintenance. Now, homeowners ownership assumptions, we're going to factor in a 10-year period that you're going to stay in this property. Home appreciation, yes, home appreciation does not go up 4% year over year. Some years it's higher, some years it's lower. We're still healing from the financial crisis where real estate values tumbled, but that does not happen very often. The last time we had a tumble that large in real estate values was the Great Depression that goes back to the 1920s. And most of the reason why we saw real estate run up so high in the early 2000s was due to very, very loose underwriting guidelines and truly mortgage money going to people that probably should never have taken it. The government has stepped in. They made the mortgage process a little more arduous, and it is much more difficult to finance a property than it was in the early 2000s. So the ability for real estate values to tumble like they did beforehand is pretty limited at this point. Not saying it can't happen, just saying that it's very, very difficult for that to occur unless mortgage financing becomes extremely accessible again, which I just do not see that occurring anytime soon. Now, cost to sell a home, normal fees to sell a home is about 5%, and we're assuming a 25% tax bracket for federal taxes. Now, once everything is calculated, we see here at the end of 10 years, you will effectively have spent $256,000 between principal and interest, maintenance, and renting. We have $252,640, which you would have spent renting. So these numbers are pretty close together. Right now, it does look like renting makes more sense, but we have to dig a little deeper into the numbers. At a 4% rate of appreciation, you can sell your property for $448,514 at the end of 10 years. If you back out the original down payment and the remaining balance of the $230,632 that you currently still owe on the home, minus the cost to sell the home and adding back in your tax benefits, which are huge, that you've accumulated over the ownership period, you actually will walk away with about $226,000. Now, if you net these two figures to actually own that property, once factoring in the rate of appreciation and the tax benefits, it truly only cost you less than $30,000 to own that property over a 10-year period. While renting, you spent $252,000 renting a period of a house versus owning it. So the net gain in this specific situation is a net gain of $222,701.83 by buying versus renting over a 10-year period. I don't know about you, but it definitely makes more sense to buy versus rent, and especially now that you'll be purchasing a home near the bottom of the housing market. You know, there's not much more downside at this point. There's only upside from here, and depending on how long you stay in this home, it could be a very, very smart financial decision. Again, this is a rough estimate, some forecasting here to find out what it will look like for your unique situation. Give me a call at 203-803-4700. That's 203-803-4700. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this short video.